Okay, the lighting's gonna be a bit weird because I don't have time for a video right now because next week is midterms. So I don't really have time to be doing anything besides studying for them. And like this is the first time I've actually like studied for something because these classes are actually the worst. I've talked about how much I hate my math teacher, but I just truly like there's so many of us that would like actually fight him if we had the chance. Like he's the worst human on earth. I don't even think he's a human. He just says some things and does some things that make me just think that he's just some sort of alien robot creature sent from the future to torture us. Cause he just doesn't act like a human. He's a weird. I don't like him. And he's a liar. He's a liar. I hate liars. He keeps saying that he's gonna do all these things, but then he never does them. Like today we had a quiz in class and he said yesterday, oh, I'm gonna put up a practice quiz so that you guys can all like prepare for the test or whatever. And guess what happens? It didn't happen because he ran out of time. That's what he said in class today. He was like, oh, I didn't have enough time to do it, so I didn't make a practice quiz. And I'm like, that's not okay. That is unacceptable. Like, you're not allowed to just promise things and then not have them happen. Especially when you're a teacher. We need to be able to trust that our teachers will do what they say they're gonna do so that we can succeed in school. But if your teachers are not doing what they say they're gonna do, then how are you supposed to do well in that class? That's what I would like to know. I think he just wants all of us to fail, truly. Because that class is like unreasonably hard, especially for the type of school that I'm at. I'm not at some like smart rich people school. I'm at a basic boring public school, which means that we should have basic boring average people classes. Even though my class that I'm taking, my math class, is an honors class, it should not be this hard. There is like a line and we are way above that line. Like, no, stop it. Stop teaching this like it's a college level course. It's not. Okay? We are not here to be learning this hard. We are children. Okay? Calm down. He also said that one of the two quizzes we were going to take this week or last week was going to be a partner quiz or a group quiz so that we didn't have to take it by ourselves and just like suffer. But he lied because today was also an individual quiz just like last week. So that was fun. I love suffering. I love being lied to and betrayed. He still hasn't graded our Unit 2 quiz even though we're on Unit 4. He graded Unit 3 for some reason before he graded Unit 2, but that hasn't been graded or put into the grade book because he's a dirty liar. I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, and I hate him. This final is worth 30% of our grade. I know I said this last week, but I'm still very angry. It's supposed to only be worth 20%. 10% is supposed to be our assignments, but he has not checked a single assignment this whole quarter. So there is no assignment grade. So this test will determine basically our entire grade because it's worth 30%. Like, who thinks that this is okay? Like, who sits down and says to themselves, I would like to make a test worth 30% of a grade? Like, why? And there's no extra credit in this class, like, at all. You can't do anything to bring up your grade. Like, once you just had your grade, that's just it. You're just screwed. And, like, I get it that this would be acceptable once you get to, like, university level, because then the grades don't really matter. You just need the degree. But here, grades matter, okay? He doesn't understand that if he keeps doing this to us, all of our futures will be ruined. Like, again, not like entirely, but in this type of class, we have type of people where we're like shooting for Ivy Leagues. So if you really do this to us, you're gonna screw up our GPA and all of the plans of our like 20-step process to get to Ivy League schools will be ruined. We will have no future. Like, everything that we planned out from day one will be destroyed because you are an awful teacher. And I don't think he gets that. Like, he thinks that, oh, we just shouldn't stress because everything's going to be fine. We can always just do retakes even though there's only 2 retakes a semester because that's what it's like in the next class. Because the next math class up, you get no retakes. I'm just like, yeah, but that class is easier than this class. Everyone said that. They're like, oh yeah, the next class is way easier than this class even though this class is supposed to prepare you for the next class. Dumb. It's stupid. I want to kill him. He doesn't understand. Like, he thinks that it's just fine. He's like, oh yeah, you guys are like all doing great. You're not failing. You're not having like an F, so you guys are fine. I'm like, is that really your baseline here? We all just took our Unit 3 test like 2 months ago. I really don't remember. But we have this policy in class that if the class average between our class, our math class, and the other math class that he teaches, if our average for everyone there was a failing grade, we would all get to retake it free of charge. It doesn't go to one of our 2 retakes. But we had a 12.6 out of 20. And if you can do the math, that's like a D-. And if you're really specific with it, it's 1% above an F. And that's the bullshit that he pulled on us when we were like, well, everyone failed the test. Can we just like retake it? He was like, no, it's 1% above an F. You're not failing. And we're like, excuse me? In what world is a D- okay? Especially in a class like this, a D- means that we're not learning anything. That means that you are not teaching us. Like, when a class average is a D-, that truly reflects so much on the teacher and not on us. Because there are always going to be those kids in class that just don't do well and just don't understand the subject, and then they're just not going to do as well as other kids that like maybe work harder or just get it faster, and that's just life. But when the average is not a passing grade, you know that's not on us, that's on you. Like, I don't understand how he has just accepted the fact that we're all apparently going to fail his class. Like, I don't know why this is an acceptable thing to him. Like, this is not a thing that should be okay. It's just, it really baffles me. Like, he doesn't teach ever. Like, whenever we ask for help in that class, he's always very condescending with his help. He always says, oh, it's so easy. I'm like, yeah, it's easy to someone who knows what they're doing, not us, because we are learning this. Like, it's very complicated, and it's very awful, and he's not helpful, and the answer keys to all of our worksheets are never clear on what we're supposed to do, and we never have time to go over them because there's always a new worksheet to do with more stuff that we don't know. And it's so great. I'm so looking forward to this final, because as a person who's barely skated by this entire year, not really understanding anything and just trying to memorize things from test to test, this final's gonna kill me. This 30% of my grade final is gonna kill me. I'm so angry. This is not okay. I've had this pattern with my math classes that I've taken that like every other one I've really hated. Like, algebra, I'm good with algebra, but like, this shit, fuck this shit. Oh my god, I love algebra. Algebra is just numbers. It's just numbers that make sense. But then like, this. Like, last year I really liked my math class, so that should have been a sign that this year would have been awful. But I really didn't predict how awful this was gonna be, because it's truly the worst thing ever. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive another semester of this. Like, I really don't. I don't know. This is a mess. And then I have a history final on top of this, and just as a person who really should be doing better in history, but just doesn't really read the textbook, because who reads the textbook? I'm just not doing the best. I haven't done that good on the last multiple choice quizzes that we've taken, but hopefully, if this is basically just an average of all the quizzes that we've taken, I should do well enough. Because I'm like averaging like a B+ on all of these quizzes, so if we can just take that and put that as my score, that'd be great. But we really don't know, do we? That's gonna hurt me, that's gonna hurt me. My science final, not worried about. It's just, did you pay attention in class? That I did. And my writing final, my language arts final, bless my teacher, he understands how to teach a class. He understands that like giving you an essay at the end of the midterm just really doesn't help anybody, because the kids who are doing well continue to do well, and the kids who are struggling continue to struggle. Like, giving you another essay for a midterm is not helpful. So he instead has us do an essay that reflects on all of our work, and basically, did you just try? Then you get an A. And I'm like, yes, that's what we need. Not this math bullshit where it's like, have you not understood anything this entire year? Well, screw you, there goes 30% of your grade. So, that's great. I love my life. I have 6 days until my math final. When this goes out, it will be 5 days. I have to do it this following Tuesday. So, if everyone could just, like, believe, just like put all that positive energy into the world so that I can do well, that would be great. I truly hate this class. I hate it. Hate this teacher. It's the worst thing I've ever had to do.